From the moment humans began to live in communities, questions about governance and order arose. Ancient Greek philosophers like Plato and Aristotle pondered the ideal state, emphasizing justice and virtue. Plato envisioned a republic ruled by philosopher kings, while Aristotle advocated for a mixed government balancing different interests. These early thinkers laid the groundwork for centuries of political philosophy, exploring themes of power, justice, and the common good. The Middle Ages witnessed a shift towards religious authority, with thinkers like Augustine and Aquinas integrating Christian theology into political thought. Augustine's city of God contrasted earthly and heavenly cities, while Aquinas, drawing on Aristotle, emphasized natural law as a guide for rulers. The Renaissance and Reformation challenged these medieval ideas, leading to a renewed focus on human reason and individual liberty. Niccolo Machiavelli's The Prince, a controversial treatise on political realism, argued that rulers should prioritize the acquisition and maintenance of power, even at the expense of conventional morality. This emphasis on realpolitik marked a departure from earlier idealistic views of governance. The social contract theory posits that individuals surrender certain rights for the protection and benefits of a society governed by law. This forms the basis of legitimate political authority. Hobbes, Locke, and Rousseau contributed significantly to this theory. Hobbes argued life without government was solitary, poor, nasty, brutish, and short. Individuals surrendered rights to an absolute sovereign for order. Locke envisioned natural rights to life, liberty, and property. Government's role was to protect these rights. Rousseau emphasized the general will, the collective interest of the community. Thomas Hobbes, born in England in 1588, lived during a time of great political and religious upheaval. The English Civil War profoundly shaped his worldview. Hobbes as Hobbes. In my seminal work, Leviathan, published in 1651, I argued that life without government was a state of nature, a chaotic and violent realm where individuals were free to do whatever was necessary to survive. In this state, there was no morality, justice, or social order. To escape this horrific existence, Hobbes argued that individuals entered into a social contract, surrendering their natural rights to an absolute sovereign, the Leviathan. This sovereign possessed unlimited power to enforce laws, suppress dissent, and maintain order. Hobbes as Hobbes. The Leviathan, a monstrous figure representing the absolute state, was designed to instill fear and obedience in the citizenry. While Hobbes' emphasis on order and security resonated with some, his defense of absolute sovereignty drew sharp criticism from those who championed individual liberty and limited government. John Locke, born in England in 1632, offered a more optimistic view of human nature and a contrasting vision of the social contract. Locke as Locke. In my two treatises of government, published in 1689, I argued that individuals possessed inherent rights to life, liberty, and property, even in the state of nature. Unlike Hobbes, I believed that the state of nature was governed by natural law, a moral code discoverable through reason. Locke recognized that the state of nature could devolve into conflict due to the absence of an impartial authority to enforce natural law. Locke, as Locke, government should be based on consent and its power should be limited by law. If a government overstepped its bounds and infringed upon natural rights, the people had the right to alter or abolish it. Locke's ideas profoundly influenced the American founding fathers, who incorporated his concepts of natural rights, limited government, and the right of revolution into the Declaration of Independence and the United States Constitution. Jean-Jacques Rousseau, born in Geneva in 1712, offered a distinct perspective on the social contract, emphasizing the concepts of the general will and popular sovereignty. Rousseau, writing during the French Enlightenment, I challenged traditional notions of authority and advocated for a more egalitarian society. In his influential work, The Social Contract, published in 1762, Rousseau argued that humans were born free, but were everywhere in chains. Rousseau, I believed that society corrupted individuals, fostering inequality and undermining their natural goodness. Rousseau's concept of the state of nature differed from both Hobbes and Locke. He envisioned it as a time of innocence and self-sufficiency, where individuals lived in harmony with nature and each other. Rousseau, however, I recognize that the development of agriculture, private property and civilization led to inequality and conflict. To address these challenges, individuals entered into a social contract, surrendering their individual wills to the general will, the collective interest of the community as a whole. Rousseau, the general will aimed at the common good and represented the true will of the people. Hobbes, Locke and Rousseau all contributed to the development of social contract theory, but their views differed significantly. Hobbes, driven by his pessimistic view of human nature, argued for an absolute sovereign to maintain order and security. Locke, believing in natural rights and limited government, advocated for a government that protected individual liberty and derived its legitimacy from the consent of the governed. Rousseau, emphasizing the general will and popular sovereignty, envisioned a society where individuals surrendered their individual wills to the collective good. These contrasting views reflect the diverse intellectual and historical context in which these thinkers wrote. Despite their differences, Hobbes, Locke and Rousseau shared a common belief in the power of reason to understand and improve the human condition. Their ideas continue to shape debates about the role of government, the limits of individual rights and the meaning of citizenship in the modern world. The social contract theory continues to exert a profound influence on modern political thought and practice. Its emphasis on consent, individual rights, and the legitimacy of government has shaped constitutions, laws, and political movements worldwide. The American Declaration of Independence echoes Locke's ideas about natural rights and popular sovereignty. The United States Constitution embodies principles of limited government, separation of powers, and the protection of individual liberties. The French Revolution, inspired in part by Rousseau's ideas, challenged absolute monarchy and proclaimed the rights of man and citizen. The Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen affirmed the principles of liberty, equality, and fraternity. The social contract theory has also influenced movements for social justice and equality, such as abolitionists, suffragists, and the civil rights movement. By emphasizing the importance of consent, individual rights, and the common good, the social contract theory provides a powerful framework for advocating for a more just and equitable society. In the 21st century, the social contract theory faces new challenges and opportunities as societies grapple with globalization, technological advancements, and evolving notions of citizenship. Globalization has blurred national boundaries, creating new forms of interdependence and raising questions about the scope and limits of national sovereignty. The rise of the internet and social media has created new public spheres, fostering both greater connectivity and new forms of social and political fragmentation. Technological advancements raise concerns about privacy, surveillance, and the potential for algorithmic bias. Despite these challenges, the social contract theory remains a vital framework for navigating the complexities of the 21st century. The enduring legacy of Hobbes, Locke, and Rousseau lies in their questions about power, government, and society. Their ideas continue to spark debate and inspire new generations. Hobbes' Leviathan reminds us of the dangers of anarchy and the need for order. Locke's natural rights are a cornerstone of human rights discourse. Rousseau's general will fuels debates about democracy and the common good. Their Enlightenment ideas illuminate the path to a just, equitable, and free society. The social contract theory, though often presented as a hypothetical agreement, remains a powerful and enduring concept. It reminds us that political legitimacy rests on the consent of the governed and that individuals possess inherent rights that must be protected. While the specific formulations of Hobbes, Locke, and Rousseau may differ, their shared emphasis on reason, individual rights, and the common good continues to resonate in the 21st century. The social contract is not a static document, but an ongoing conversation, a dynamic process of negotiation and renegotiation between individuals and the state. New challenges such as globalization, technological advancements, and environmental degradation require us to rethink our obligations to each other and to future generations. The social contract theory provides a valuable framework for engaging in these critical conversations. By encouraging us to reflect on the foundations of our societies, the limits of individual rights, and the meaning of citizenship, it empowers us to shape a more just, equitable, and sustainable future for all.